Hey everybody, it's Tripl-L, and today let's talk about one of the spring 2017 anime, Kado, The Right Answer. And specifically, let's talk about why I think this anime is pretty great. Before getting into it though, I just want to quickly give a shout out to one of the subscribers, Tyrell Reed. I am sorry this video took so long, but thank you for your patience. I know you've been waiting for this one for a while. So, Kado, The Right Answer. This was an anime that when it first was in the previews, when it was first kind of like said that this was happening, I honestly did not expect that much from it. I didn't expect it was going to be good. It was done by Toei, and I have no faith in Toei seeing the things that they do with the One Piece anime. So for me, Kado has been a very nice surprise. Kado is a show where a alien effectively comes down into the human world, and with him brings a lot of technologies, one of them being the titular Kado. And with those technologies, he can change the way that humans operate. The show itself chronicles the humans as they try and come to an understanding with this being. So let's dive into it. Why Kado is so great in simple reasons. First off, it's not for everyone. The premise is very wordy. There's next to no action, and there's just a lot of dialogue. Now that usually isn't something that's played for the positive, but in the case of Kado, it just means that Kado knows what it wants to be and what type of show it wants to portray itself as. So it ultimately ends up keeping itself very focused. Now the thing with Kado, The Right Answer, like I said, it's not for everyone. This isn't an action anime. Don't expect really incredible action sequences. This is a talker anime. This isn't an anime that you're gonna be on the edge of your seat every week because of action. It's gonna be one that you're maybe gonna be just in the back of your mind just thinking like, whoa, okay, this is pretty interesting. It's not an anime that tries to win you over with really elaborate sequences. It's just an anime that presents a calm atmosphere, has a pretty consistent but mellow pacing, and just presents topics, and we just get to see the characters interact and deal with it. Ultimately, Kado is much more stationary and wants to wow viewers with ideas instead of action. And because of that reason, it may not be for everyone. Some people may just think it's boring, and that's okay. Next up, Kado has some excellent CG. Like, truthfully, especially with anime, being able to say that the CG in a series is excellent is just that rarely ever happens, okay? Like, we've seen Berserk, it rarely ever happens, but with Kado it really works. And like, this is really where I'm just wowed. Wow, Toei, you actually went this far. That's some pretty nice looking sequences. Like, Kado looks very pretty. And the thing with CG is that sometimes it's very otherworldly, but with Kado, here you have a situation where those often otherworldly qualities of CG just really work well, because Kado itself is this show that premises itself on these otherworldly concepts, or this otherworldly being coming into our world. So the CG works really well, and because Kado is so stationary, it doesn't have to really tax itself with making overly elaborate sequences. Instead, it can just kind of impress us with the really nice character CGs and just a very nice environment. Ultimately, this is where Toei's, I think, their conservation methods work out a little bit better for everyone involved, because here they get to show a really just nice environment without having to go into that territory where CG just gets kind of cringy. And for Kado, like, again, this is a very beautiful show in just the consistently it is beautiful, and that's because, again, like, there's not that many action pieces that you have to worry about. This is a show where the CG just enhances the experience rather than just kind of makes you wish you didn't have to watch it. And finally, Kado it poses really interesting questions. This is the type of series that you could actually just sit down here and then just listen to what the characters are saying, and then just really start to try and think about it. Because this series revolves so much around the human condition and what it means to be human and how to help humans, you end up with sometimes these premises that will make people uncomfortable. Like, I still remember one of the times when one of the main characters, Zashuina, was telling people about the idea about taking away a person's need to sleep, and just the comment section was just it was a very interesting discussion that was going on there, because people were thinking, well, that seems bad, that seems weird, like people need to be able to sleep. And you know, the whole thing was the idea that the necessity is taken away. And it was interesting to see how bothered people got on a fundamental level just by the notion of having that one basic need being taken away. And that's where Kado ultimately really shines. It brings up these really interesting questions, and it's very interesting to see how the characters react when such a greater power than them gives them an alternative, gives them a way out. I don't want to ruin too much, but there's other really fun concepts that pop up in Kado, and you know, they make it worth the watch. Ultimately, Kado is very interesting when it comes to presenting just questions centered around what it means to be human. And those are the simple reasons why I think Kado is a pretty great show. It knows what it's trying to be, and it knows it's not for everyone. It has incredible CG, and it just poses really interesting questions. And this is mostly true for the majority of the show, at least for the first 8 episodes. After that point, things get a little bit dicey, and that's where the general feel of the show starts to kind of change. But for me, Kado is really just a show that at this point I would recommend watch the first 8 episodes, because those are the most interesting episodes. And ultimately with Kado, I think I'd be okay just watching the first couple of episodes before there's that pivotal moment that changes the tone of the series, just because those episodes just present really good themes. So ultimately, if you're someone that likes high concepts, if you like the idea about a higher power coming down and giving humans just options, if you're into the idea of just watching people kind of deal with the possibility of taking advantage of technology presented to them by a higher being, if you're just like kind of having these kind of questions presented to you, like the question of what would you do if someone actually gave you the option to not have to go to sleep? What would you do if someone gave you the option? Actually, I won't spoil that one, but you know, this is ultimately an anime if you just want a nice little thinking time. But anyway, that's it for me. I'm gonna leave it there. Kado, the right answer. Let me know what you think of it down below, and also keep an eye out. I might be making another video for Kado, specifically talking about the moment that Kado just changed its tone, because it was a pretty big moment, and at that point a lot of the people who were watching were just considering that this is what turned Kado sour. So if you want to see that video, just let me know down below, and till next time. Okay, and we're done. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like videos about anime, if you like this style of video that breaks it down kind of, if you're into that kind of thing, you know, feel free to subscribe or like or comment. I value comments more, but if you want to subscribe, that'd be cool too. The channel also covers Pokemon sometimes, so if you're into Pokemon, you know, feel free to sign up for that. Truthfully, the channel really does a lot of stuff. I wouldn't recommend subscribing unless you're really sure this is the kind of content you want to be notified on. But hey, again, hope you enjoyed the video. It was really fun to make. If there's any other anime you would like just a general opinion on, feel free to let me know down below. But yeah, thanks for watching. Till next time. Hope you have a great day.